Hello, welcome to a first rebuild video of Hull. So, if you don't all know, you might have all seen it. If you haven't, you should go check it out. I did previously to this is a Hull team guide, which basically goes into more detail of the team itself, what is involved, what you expect to see, and also the fact, what their predictions is, what we might try and do. So our goal is to get them to the Premier League and get them higher than 16th place. But also in the same process, we are trying to do is get their financial state in a better position. Now, I always say we went to the end of the transfer, but you get to see what we've done so far. So, what I can really say is we haven't really done any transfers because obviously we're transfer embargoed, can't do any. But I'm surprised it's not involved in it, but I don't think it does count towards it. Obviously, we can't buy any player. We can't get any player. We didn't sell any players out. We kind of kept everyone. What I can show is staffing. So we obviously brought some staff in to help out. The only player that went out was Gerard Velasco. I didn't want to bring too many because we were trying to still keep the staff finance down, because I think we're spending about 23k per week on coaching. I think it's like 11 on recruitment and 11 on physio. So obviously, I decided to do was we brought quite a few for the under 23 and then under 18, but main ones that we did bring in was David Moss. We brought him in because he had better stats than Velasco, but also the fact he was actually in less amount of salary. He was I think Velasco was 2.5 or 3 point something. Yeah, 2.5 or 3, and Velasco is 1.7k per week and had better stats. So I was like, you know what, that's okay. If you think about futuristically, it's actually a pretty decent price. Another one we got in was Sal Bibo as a goalkeeper, so we can help out the goalkeeping more. Obviously, he had a better range of stats than the other goalkeeper. Also, the fact that he was actually cheaper on wage. Another would have been Eric Black. I decided to bring him in because he, as a general player, or actually not general player, general coach, he's actually not that bad because he's got 12 attacking, 12 defense, and fitness. You see his determination, discipline is quite high, and his technical is quite decent as well. I would say as an all-round coach, he is very good, and that's why we brought him in, because he would be very, very handy. And last but not least, we have Glenn Snowden. So we have a weird thing going on here. So we actually were going to try to bring in Glenn Snowden as a coach because he has good defense, he has good defending, good attacking, good fitness. Everything is quite good, but we wouldn't sign us as a coach. We would sign us as an assistant coach. So what ended up happening is we ended up with two coaches. So we got Cliff Byrne and Glenn Snowden there as assistant managers. The managers. So then again, he is a bit better, but still, nonetheless, we ended up with both of them. So, I mean, technically we could get rid of one. Technically, but but nonetheless, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. That's really all we did. I think the only thing actually, there is one more thing. Affiliate. So I went and asked for a senior affiliate. I decided to do was get a senior affiliate in. It's most cases you might not get one. We, fun enough or lucky enough, we managed to get two choices. We either got Arsenal or Chelsea. I obviously picked Arsenal because I'm an Arsenal fan. So we decided to go with that. Obviously, that means then we get annual fee of 115k. We're linked with them. And they get to send players to Hull, which is a very big thing. that means our options of players to bring in is just being made better, and the fact that we had to play a match up against them, which will help the revenue. The only thing is, if we end up in the same division as them, obviously the contract will be deleted. So that is going to be one thing we have to, if we are going to go to the Premiership, we have to understand that, and the fact that we're going to have to then set up loan deals for not 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. I think you can for affiliates. We have to check about that. We're going to have to set them for 2-season loans. But we'll see. We'll see. Other than that, nothing else has changed. Nothing else. Oh, wait, we might have gone down on transfer debt, which is actually a bit pog. 2.6 was when we started, and now it's at 2.4. This is a little bit higher, I think. Yeah. Oh, yes, this would be higher because we did have to compensate for some of the players we brought in. That is very true. Still, nonetheless, we are still heading for 18 media prediction. Ooh, before we get into further championship. So, as you can see, we did play. It might be hard to see here. We did play our games in the championship. We played up until the first. We lost the majority of them. We won the 2 Carroll Cup ones, which was good. We lost majority of them by. See, the thing is, I don't think of them as losses. I think of them as just unfortunate events. Because of the fact we only lose by 1 goal. We lost to Preston 1-0, we lost to QPR 2-1, we lost to Fulham 1-0, which is actually good, by the way, because Fulham's obviously started for being second, or first or second media prediction. I think it's really good, and Bournemouth is another team that started for first or second as well. So to me, losing 1-0 against these 2 teams is actually really good. We have a long way to go, and it's going to be a rough. It's going to be very rough. So that's already, to me, it's a bad start in one sense, but it's not too bad in another because we still have room for improvement. We see Matt Smith with the yellow cards, 4 yellow cards, big pog, big pog. But anyway, we now will go. So we're gonna see the segments. So this segment is the start, the transfer. Next segment you're gonna see is the January, obviously, because that's gonna be the biggest situation where you get to see who we signed in, who we sold off, where the team is then, and then after that, you'll see at the end is where we finally end up for the first season. And that's it. And you'll probably see stats. Maybe stats, maybe how the team did, who did well, who didn't, and probably just hear about what we're going to do next. Anyway, let's see you all in a bit. Right, we are here. This is February, or start of February. So we're going to go into some of the stuff quickly, but before we go into transfer anything, since you've already seen the screen, you've already seen all the info already, you're all going, oh my god, what's happening here? We're gonna go through it first. So obviously we got to play Hull versus Preston. If you look in the league table, we are 8th place. We actually, oh my god, like, you don't understand how crazy it's been. Like, some of the games, Also, I forgot to show this actually at the very beginning. This is the tactic I've been going with. So I've been doing is a 4-4-2. We've actually, this is actually hurting me there. We actually stuck with a lot of players generally in the 11, so we stuck a lot. We gone for cautious quite a lot of times because we're a League 1 team. Well, we came up from League 1, and for some reason it actually works. It actually works. No, we don't having too much intensity, familiarity. It's been quite nice. We've been having a lot of impossessions. And we've been working on trying to build on all of these higher tempo, shorter passing, run at defense, be more expressive, play for set pieces, pass into space. We're doing regroups and counter, take short picks, and obviously use the offside trap and use tight marking and get stuck in. it's actually been working. It's actually been quite good. But like I said, as you can see here, we are 8th place, won 12 games, drew 8, and lost 9. So generally, that's actually not too bad. I was very, very surprised the fact that we did that well. And the fact that we did that well is actually really good. Our top goal scorer is been Kane, Lewis Potter, and Malik Wilkes. Obviously, I said before they were our highest paid players, or well, transfer players. So they actually did end up being the main ones that were concentrating on. Actually, funny enough, you're actually seeing 3 of the main players that I mentioned in Team Guide that were probably our highest transfer players. Lewis Potter, Wilkes, and Jacob Greaves. Jacob Greaves getting highest rating, so they're actually all been doing quite well, and they were our key players to keep on that mind. And yeah, that's I think we've only done the most dribbles. Other than that, we're not really punching anything else. We're looking at overview mostly. Most penalties. I would assume this is from goal scored to taken. So Lewis Potter has had the best so far. Matt Smith had the most yellow cards, big pog for him. Malik Wilkes has had the most outside. As you can see, there is £0 net debt, but we still have a transfer of nearly 2 mil. Obviously, that's slowly going down. Why is there £0 net debt? Well, you see, the club, I mean, got bought over by a consortium. So we do have here. So you see, Asim Alam left in November, 21st November. Came in was John Morrow, take over a consortium. And you see that Greg Doherty become captain now instead of vice captain. But that's another situation there. That's because of who you'll find out. But nonetheless, so we got taken over. I was potentially about to lose my job because they were thinking of another manager to bring in. I think they were, funny enough, I think they were thinking Alex Steele, maybe, or another manager. I don't know. But we were playing really well. When they mentioned that, we were at the bottom of the league, and then we started playing really well. I had a good run, and it was crazy. And then next thing you know, they said, "Oh, we're going to keep you playing." I was like, "Cool, awesome." So we continued, and the biggest problem we had was getting everyone to play, because obviously, see, a lot of players were wanting playing time. We couldn't give everyone playing time, so this was a difficult situation. Obviously, you see some players we just signed, but we'll actually now go into that. So, without further ado, these are the players we signed. So obviously, we couldn't really sign them much. I just basically did was put all the transfer money into the wage, because I wanted a good amount of waste budget, and I didn't want to spend too much. You can see already we have raided Arsenal a little bit when the transfer happened, and we tried to get as many as we can over. So we got Charlie Patino, James Olienka, Ben Cottrell, and Arthur Okonkwo. Arthur Okonkwo because we need a third goalkeeper, but also the fact that the other goalkeeper that we have, the Everton one, we haven't really played because Ingram been bossing it. Ingram's just bossing it. That's all, and he's just like, so we brought in Arthur Okonkwo because we want to keep Arsenal happy for relationship purposes. Ben Cottrell because I feel he would be a decent midfielder, a backup midfielder. Nonetheless, James Olienka, another backup midfielder that I thought would do well. Charlie Patino because Charlie Patino I thought would be really good to add to that. We also brought in Abdi Sharif. I bought him in because he could play right. I thought it would be a good right back to have as a backup, but also Jack Rodwell because he's free and he would be a good backup well to the players that we have. And you know, for a 2.5-star player, I think he would be okay. Also, the fact that I would like to point out we have him for 3.8k per week, and we did not. Glad we don't have him for more. And obviously, we got Andy Carroll, who might be paying a lot for wage, but yet again, the same reasoning being is backup striker. He's not good on physical or anything, but he's good on everything else. And I think if we can get a few cheeky goals from him, I think it would be quite good. Another we got in was Carlos Tevez. Carlos Tevez, another we brought in for striking and as a backup also. And I felt like it was pretty much similar, but I felt this would be quite handy, even for short-term use. And lastly, we got in Jerome Sinclair. Reasoning backup also, just to have, because obviously we want main players to be playing as much as they possibly can. If any of them are injured, tackled, you know, red carded, anything, got COVID, anything, then we at least have a backup player to at least cover that for them. Obviously, with all these signings, we had to then get rid of players. Obviously, we not really got rid of players. We got players that wanted to leave. So, and this is due to personally is the fact that I could not give them game time. They weren't getting game time. I was keeping the first 11 going as much as I can, and that was it. So Tom Eves went to Exeter for 16k. George Honeyman went for 300k to QPR, which I thought was good. Richie Smallwood, our captain, went to Birmingham. We weren't really playing him. Honestly, we generally were not playing him as much as we could have, and it was bound to happen. We loaned out Willie Jarvis, Andy Cannon, and Josh Emmanuel. And Brandon Flumley and Sean McLaughlin because they weren't getting enough game time. George Moncur went Peterborough on transfer, and we saw that in the simulation that happening. And yeah, it happened for me. I might have got more money out of it, 140k. And then obviously Josh McGinnis went for 21k. He wanted to leave. I didn't really want to get rid of him, but he wanted to leave, and we already had Andy Carroll and Tevez coming in, so I thought it'd be an easy enough replacement otherwise. But still, not too bad. And a very good team. We're getting... Ooh, well, I haven't showed you his schedule. Oh, did I show his schedule? I don't know. But nonetheless, after Bournemouth game, Swansea we lost to. Then when it came, I mean, our September was pretty bad, but when it came to October, for some reason after Carabao Cup, they started doing really well and started building up all these wins and draws, and we started going on a run. We did lose a few times along the way, but we still continued to build further. Obviously, we lost to Bournemouth there. And now we are 8th place. We are in potential of trying to get promoted. Maybe a playoff. Not promotion, but playoff. We are in good form. If we continue this, we might end up... If we continue winning, we might end up in a playoff. Which would be a big pog. And might be good. And it might lead to, if we actually get promoted, it might lead to more money, which actually would be good for the new owner, but also be good for us because then we might end up landing with a lot more money. So then we would have completed one side maybe, which would have been transfer debt. So we would have gotten transfer debt out of the way, and then all we had to do is do better in the Premiership. But still, nonetheless, that is quite good. Anyway, what we're going to do is take this the end of the first season so you get to see what the end was. We will see you in a bit. We're actually probably in a couple days because it'll take a while. Anyway, see you in a bit.
3 days later.
So, I was supposed to show a game at the end, but I ended up playing it. But it doesn't matter. It's okay. So, As you can see from this, you already see the result. We still have the semi-final going off, and you can already see it. We ended up at the end of first season, 7th place. Now, one way it's good, another way it's bad. One way it's good is that it means our senior affiliate Arsenal will still be our senior affiliate for another year. I mean, we get an extra 100k from them, or over 100k anyway. And we still have the opportunity to get some of their players still on loan, which is still good. Bad thing is the fact that we don't get to get promoted, so that means we have to go through another season of the championship. Which happens, though we do see Derby County and Huddersfield going down. I think this was kind of expected. I mean, Derby put in a good fight, I'm not gonna lie. But I think this was going to be definitely expected. I have to read them and try and get their best players. But otherwise, next season we gotta now prep up for next season. So you're gonna find out in the next episode what we end up doing at the beginning. Hopefully then that will be, a little bit better. One thing I noticed that Fulham ended up with the Euro Cup 2. That means they must have been in a final. Would have been Carabao Cup, but it was Carabao Cup. They ended up beating West Ham. Ended up in the Carabao Cup final against Leeds. So this is the first time I've. Okay, interesting. But still, we see Bournemouth get champions and Sheffield United get promoted. But we were close. I mean, we had 74 points. We lost out on goal difference. If actually Blackburn did drew on that last game, if they actually lost that, we would have probably gone through and we would have been in the playoff. But it was not meant to be. And, it's fine because that means we can now build the squad and be more sorted for the second season. If we look at we're going to see the rest of it later when you do the end of review. But still, you can see top goal scorer was Malik Wilkes with 14 goals. We see highest average rating was Jacob Greaves with 7.07. This boy might get picked up. Actually, all three of these might get picked up, but we'll have to see. Most assist is Keane Lewis Potter with 11. Best pass completion was Jacob Greaves with 11%, which is very good. Most yellow cards, Matt Smith. Yo, this midfielder. I'm gonna go back to Man City, and Man City is gonna be like, why is he tackling so much? But I mean, at least the performance-wise, manager performance-wise, got B+. They're very pleased that the fact we did well. They're disappointed with only some of the losses, I suppose, which I would be disappointed also because those losses in the last, well, we're gonna see, and then positives. So we saw from February, we did not too bad through February, did very well. But when it came to, we lost to Peterborough, we lost in the Arsenal Cup. That doesn't matter. Didn't do too bad otherwise. But then in the last section, really hit us. We ended up in a really bad situation where we lost to Middlesbrough, lost to Millwall, we drew against Cardiff. These three games would have been a pinpoint, which would have maybe helped us to qualify. But team didn't show up. Team was struggling a bit, and unfortunately, they were really not. We were lucky with the Cardiff one that we actually turned up the heat. But the other games, we were a bit unfortunate that the other team were playing better and wanted to win. But it is what it is. Back into the swing. Sean Bernard did really well. I would hope we might try and bring him back in front of him. But I don't know. Unless we can find another. Might find another defender, who knows, we might find a better defender, but nonetheless he did get a 6.98, which was very good, and the fact that he played 45 games, he playing Matt Smith, and then 6.93. Yet again, someone who we might consider to bring back also, because he did quite well. Apart from with the yellow cards, but we'll have to see. Ali Patino did quite well actually, even for the games that he played. He did very well. Got 6 point. We could have played him more. Might be a potential player to bring in next year. I feel apologetic to Nathan Baxter, but I don't think he'll end up back with us. But he did play in Ryan Long. He lost his spot. He lost his spot when we brought in. He really did lose his spot. It was a bit unfortunate, but it wasn't like bad or anything. He just a bit unfortunate, and he ended up. I mean, come on, Matt Ingram was having of his life. He was doing so well. I mean, what do you expect? I was not gonna take out our goalkeeper. The others were young. They're young. You know, he's playing the best of his life. We played least. Jerome Sinclair, the one player that we brought in as a backup, and he pretty much didn't get to play many. Actually, he did Jack Rodwell. Dunno. We tried to play Andy Carroll as many as we could, and he only got 1 assist. He didn't get a single goal. James Scott was a little bit of a disappointment. He had 26 subs coming in, 3 as a starting. He did get a 6.86. Like, he wasn't bad or anything. Just 6 goals was a little bit kind of sad. Carlos Tevez, 6.57. He could have done better. He did have a much more time of coming on to playing, and he only scored twice. But this is what we expect from all the players, you know. That's what we had to expect. They were actually on form. Obviously, you could tell it was like more closer all around. Also, the fact you could tell, you know, some of these other players were performing. But obviously, our boy Lewis Potter was the boy. In summer, we want to try and keep him, but if a big team comes in, I'm not gonna say no. Otherwise, let's get you. Okay, end of season review. Let's new revivals. Revivals? A revival. Oh, I say that he was actually a free player, unless it's just because of the previous club. I mean, by rating wise, you know, these players did pretty well. Appearance wise, you could tell who we were, but they definitely did perform quite well. A lot of these players will end up being, I would say, no, never know. Oh, you know, but nonetheless, it wasn't like that bad of reaction. But hey, let's see. We were told to avoid relegation. Our final position was 10th place, so we did much better than our media prediction of 18th place. We excelled. We avoided relegation in one sense, but we did very, very well. Average home attendance was 12,500, 48%. We could have done a little bit better than that. Competition top scorer Malik Wilkes with 13 goals. The board was delighted that we achieved top half finish, so they're giving an 898 plus on that. C plus on FA Cup, supposed to reach a minimum of round. We got out on the 5th round, so we did reach there, so that is a bug. And goal scorer was Carlos Tevez. Carroll Cup, we were given third round minimum is as expectation. We did end up reaching the third round and got knocked out. So see again. So please can say my percentage. Something to hopefully we'll try and increase the amount of attendance. Biggest win was in the FA Cup 3-0 against Bolton. Sorry, not Hull. Against Bolton. Match to remember was 3-1 against West Brom. That match went very well. All of the season was by Smith. Carroll Cup beat Bolton. Wait, we played them twice in the cup? I did not realize that when I did not realize that when we did them both. Oh, that's actually funny. So one thing we kind of completed this year was managed to kind of, I want to say we managed to get out of financial debt, but I really feel like we didn't, because obviously a new manager, new owner came in and taken it, because you'll probably see from how much money we get, and we didn't really. I mean, we got out of it on the basis that they paid for all this, but didn't get much out of it. Sponsorship, I mean, this is all good, the fact that sponsorship and everything has gone up. Our following sale, I find it more funny. Andy Carroll shirt was sold a lot, and Tevez, even though they did that badly. I mean, Tevez was okay, Andy Carroll was bad, but their sale was very good, and it did help us a lot. It did sell a lot. Obviously, Lewis Power, Doherty, and Williams selling quite a fair bit. Price, Wilkes didn't get there, but I think Wilkes got taken out by these. And Shaw, maybe. Are we lined up? Actually, this is the expected lineup with Ingrams and goals, back four being Coyle, Greaves, Bernard, and Alder, midfield being Doherty and Smith, wingers being Lewis Potter and Randell, and then up front being Tyler Smith and Malik Wilkes. Fair one. So, fans player of the Jacob Greaves. Makes sense. Young player of the season is Jacob Greaves. That makes sense. Signing of the season, Andy Carroll. That does not make sense. I do not think he is signing of the season. If we were supposed to have signing of the season, would have been a loanee, but I guess they don't pin that. Goal of the season was Tyler Smith, goal against in the Carabao Cup. Top goal scorer Malik Wilkes. This King Lewis Potter. Most player of the match awards King Potter. Most highest average rating Jacob Greaves, and most passes completed in 90 minutes Charlie Patino. Record broken in the season was King Lewis Potter won with 11 assists. Most clean sheets by a player in the season 17 by Matt Ingrams. Most player of the match award in the season 6 by King Lewis Potter. Most worst discipline Matt Smith with 13 yellow cards, and youngest goal scorer to score for us was Charlie Patino. You might not see that behind my webcam, but it's okay. He scored at 18 years and 7 days. Yeah, so that's the end of this first season. What do you guys think? I mean, I think I did very well. I did think I did very well. I'm a little bit unfortunate that I missed out on playoff, but that's okay. That means that just adds more excitement and gives us another season to build the squad. So now we're going to be building the squad, try and make a better team for next year, to then challenge to rise up, and hopefully when we get into the Premier League, we'll have a much more stronger team, and hopefully we'll try and build on getting players to then build up for the team for the Premier League. But no, let me know. I would like to know your opinion, or if there's things you think I missed out that I could talk about. Or finance. Be a finance. Your debt 1.7 mil. That's something to work on. You see from here where balance is going back down. We need to kind of sort that out. But you can see we got a new wage and new transfer budget being 143k, and budget being 158 now. So we can try and build. But hopefully, we'll see. So, next episode you'll see is probably the end of the transfer of second season. So it'll probably be in August time. You'll get to see what transfers I made so far. Then you'll see the matches and maybe the tactic I'm going with again. I'm trying to think. A quick question would be to ask: do you think I should split it up the next one with where you get each section in each video, so you get the just basically an update. So it won't be as long as this one, but it'll be a little bit shorter. What do you guys think? Let me know. Anyway, I'll catch you later. See you next time. Hope you have a nice day. And go. Hey, remember to subscribe, like, and comment. And also, if you watch on Twitch, I do stream on Twitch at 7 o'clock most of the evening. I do also stream on YouTube Tuesdays, and you're more than welcome to check that out by all means. Anyway, catch you later. See you next time. See you. Bye bye.
Yo, what's going